Let us be a sanctuary of positivity for God, for each other. Sanctuary pure and holy, tried and true. With thanksgiving, I'll be a living sanctuary for you. God, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true. With thanksgiving, I'll be a living sanctuary for you. One more time. God, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true. With thanksgiving, I'll be a living sanctuary for you. Sanctuary for you.
I'll be a living sanctuary. Friends, if it's comfortable, I invite you to close your eyes or simply soften your gaze. Relax for just a moment into your breath. Right here and right now, there is nothing you need to do. There's nothing you need to say. And so we pause for just a moment. We pause to be that sanctuary. That place where that divine spark of divine life resonates within us. We bring our full attention and awareness to the stillness within. To the sanctuary in consciousness where we know that we are peace. Where we know that we are power. Where we know most importantly that we are love. The very presence of love. Of this we are sure. We are assured of this. We are positive that this is the truth. Through positivity, I can do all things through the divine presence within. Through the power of the divine presence within. But for this to be true, I must pause on a regular basis to become familiar, to become intimate with that place of oneness. That place of light that resides in me. That place of light that resides in you. That place where we are peace and power and wisdom. Where we are love. So let's pause for just a moment in the stillness and in the silence to commune in this place of oneness. And as the errant thoughts show up to try and pull us away, to pull us back to the appearances of the world, let's just refocus on our breath and come back to the stillness just for a moment. When appearances become overwhelming, I realign my thoughts, my words, and my actions to the greatest and highest revealed to me. Through positivity, I can do all things through the divine presence within. With positivity, you can do all things through the divine presence within. And so as sometimes it appears that the world spins out of control, with a gentle breath, bring yourself back to this stillness. Bring yourself back to the best and highest. And ask, what is mine to do? What is mine to do? As the presence of love, what is mine to do? And so now, as you are comfortable and willing, I invite you to bring your full awareness back to this manifest place and time, this gathering in spirit where we are one, where we can indeed do all things through the divine presence within. And as we have spoken, so it is, and so we let it be.
Let us sing the Alleluia. Alleluia, 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 alleluia. And as we prepare to receive Rev Todd's message, I will sing a little bit of the Gayatri mantra for you, which is it's called the light mantra. And then we will sing my version of the light mantra together. Om Bhurbhuva Svaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimai Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. Omnipresent intelligence of the physical, mental, spiritual worlds, we meditate on thee. Illuminate our intellect, illuminate our darkness, illuminate and lighten me. And once you get the hang of it, please sing with me. Omnipresent intelligence of the physical, mental, spiritual worlds, we meditate on thee. Illuminate our intellect, illuminate our darkness, illuminate and lighten me. Omnipresent intelligence of the physical, mental, spiritual world, we meditate on thee. Illuminate our intellect, illuminate our darkness, illuminate and lighten me. Omnipresence intelligence of the physical, mental, spiritual world, we meditate on thee. Illuminate our intellect, illuminate our darkness, illuminate and lighten me.
Thank you, Deidrey. Do y'all hear something else coming through the? How weird. Somebody else unmuted, maybe? Oh, okay. Well, we fixed that. The weird part is it sounded like my voice. Might have been. Do y'all need more than one of me today? Ever? Happy Sunday, family. Today's talk is called Shining Through the Darkness. Shining Through the Darkness. This, of course, do y'all remember the name of the book I've been doing? Anyone? Ordinary Mysticism. Thank you. Ordinary Mysticism. You have countless opportunities to grow through life's challenges. In other words, to become an ever more fully, deeply human being. This is the meaning of the Yiddish word mensch, someone whose humanity shines through the darkness of the world, someone who believes in the fundamental goodness of life and embodies it. Not despite challenging experiences, but as the result of having practiced facing them with courage and kindness. Do you believe in the fundamental goodness of life? Do you believe in... Y'all got to talk back to me. You take me out of a Pentecostal holiness church, but you can't take it out of me. Do you believe in the fundamental goodness of life?
Yes.
Thank you so much. Are you willing to embody it?
No.
Sounded like Terry, maybe. I'm not sure. Well, buddy, you're in the right place at the right time. You are exactly where you're supposed to be. Yeah, I know. It's all good. It's hard when you see things that happen in the world. Sometimes maybe does it maybe feel a little challenging to believe in the goodness of life? Maybe y'all saw some stuff this week that made you go, maybe this. Well, I just had to edit because I couldn't say all that stuff. Have it recorded online. But because boy, is for a community that is based on the idea of unity, of believing in the oneness, knowing that spiritually at an expanded level of consciousness that we are one with absolute good and unconditional love, and that we are one with each other, there sure is a lot of fighting in the world. There is a lot that would destroy my belief in peace in myself. But if we are going to believe in peace, if we are going to manifest a peace-filled world that works for everyone, first we have to make sure that we in here are peaceful. And we don't get to spiritually bypass. We don't, positivity. I worried about our daily word today, positivity, because do you know anybody that's been Pollyanna-ish? Y'all know that word? They it's not that they're living in ignorant bliss, right? But it's that we have to have a faith that the best and highest good is coming. No matter what any individual here in this playground planet Earth intends, we know, just as Joseph learned when his brother sold him into slavery, and then one day he got to look at them in the face. You've all heard me say this before. It's one of my favorite stories from the Hebrew Scriptures. You meant it for evil. You meant that it would be misguided, that it was error thinking. Whatever you meant in your error thinking, God meant it for good. Now, sometimes, because I don't know about y'all, but I have blinders on and I can only see so much of this time horizon of Playground Planet Earth. And, it's been in the past couple of years that, there was some division and unity. There was a president of unity, and I was not happy with some of the stuff he was saying. And there were a lot of people that were not happy. And there were a few that, thought he was great, thought he was wonderful, that he was right. And then he got released from his job. And we had been told for years and years and years that unity had separated and become two separate organizations. That you had unity's Unity World headquarters, which was the grounds. If you don't know that Unity Village is in Lee's Summit, Missouri, and it's a large campus, and it has housing, and at one point it was the home of the Unity School for Practical Christianity. There's a conference center there now and a hotel, and it's a big to-do, and it's really wonderful. But it was one organization, and there was a separate organization called Unity Worldwide Ministries that supported ministers and the ministries. And then at some point in the history of these two organizations, the world headquarters didn't want to run the school anymore, so they gave the school to the Worldwide Ministries. But there was like this, they cannot be one organization. There's this huge divisive idea for a group that said in consciousness there's only one. We had our annual summit. Unity Worldwide Ministries had their annual summit at the beginning of February, and we learned for the first time that these two organizations are looking now and exploring ways to merge and become one unity. And I get to see the time horizon where the best and highest good, because being one unity seems to be in alignment with our principles. Isn't that incredible? Y'all see anything in the world where people are saying and doing stuff that you don't agree with and you don't think is right? Maybe. And maybe you agree with it, and and then you log into social media and you find out all the people that you know and care and love about don't agree with you. Well, that experience, maybe a little bit. Oh, but they too are an embodiment of this divine spark of life, of wisdom, of love, doing the very best they can with what they know. And I remember that one of my mentors, Mary Margaret, she said when she said it, and then I heard that it really came from Maya Angelou, right? When we know better, we do better. Maya Angelou continued it and said, and if you know better and don't do better, then you in fact do not know better. Right? Because sometimes the knowingness has to make that very long journey from the intellect to the heart. Did everyone know that Lent starts this week? Lent starts this week. This is from Charles Fillmore. If you're new to Unity, Charles Fillmore is one of the co-founders of Unity. The one that said, in this Babel, I will go to headquarters. He wrote, keep a true Lent. There is a divine goodness at the root of all existence. It is not necessary to give in detail the place of abode of each sentient part of this central goodness, for it is there wherever you look and whenever you look. No man is so lowly, but that at the touch of its secret spring, this divine goodness may be brought to light in him. Even the animals exhibit its regulating and directive power. This goodness sleeps in the recesses of every mind and comes forth when least expected. Many stifle it for years, maybe for ages, but eventually its day comes. And there is a day of reckoning. This is the law of universal balance, the equilibrium of being. At some point, goodness wins out. At some point, unconditional love wins out in this manifest world. I have to believe that. I must believe that. And this law of universal balance, it comes forth because Well, just because, as Martin Luther King Jr. said, the long arm of justice bends towards how does it go? Y'all know what I'm talking about. The long arm. I should have wrote that one down too. Okay. Anyway, here we go. Right. We all have this monitor within us. You all have a monitor within you that at some day you have to cope with what this monitor says. It is a day of reckoning. And I don't know if you've noticed this, but a lot of people put off that day of reckoning as long as they can. And we do not have to wait to put that day of reckoning off until we think that, oh, maybe we're just about done here in our manifest experience on planet Earth. Because, see, to be exact, Spirit wants justice to the very limit. How could absolute good and unconditional love want anything but justice? And so that's why we have a spiritual practice. If you look in your handouts, you'll see that the fourth foundational principle of unity is that we have to spend time in the silence. We have to spend time in meditation and in prayer. And we do this so that we can be clear of divine spirit moving through us. Spending that time in the stillness and the silence, we know the words that we are to use. We know the actions we are to take. We know how we are called to be the presence of light and shine through the darkness. We know what we are called to do. And what I am called to do and what you are called to do and what you are called to do, you've heard it before, are not the same. We all have our own innate calling from Spirit in us on how we are to be in the world. How are we to be the light? How are we to show up and remind people, everyone that we meet, that there is a spark of divinity in them? There is a spark of divinity in you and in you and in you and in every single one of us. There is a spark of divinity that is calling us forth to be a presence of peace. And if I pay attention too much to what's happening in the world, boy, do I get riled up and whew. And when that happens, I forget who I am. You ever forgotten who you are? Have you ever forgotten that the person you're talking to is a divine child of God? And so maybe, just maybe, you talked to them in a way that wasn't filled with absolute good and unconditional love. You ever done that? Ever done that? Doesn't it feel good when you get done with it? No. No. Because I've spent time in the stillness and the silence, it doesn't feel good because I am awakened to, what did I call it? This law of universal balance. And I know that, there's going to be a day of reckoning. Because my thoughts and my words and my actions were not aligned with the truth I know. And I've got to allow them to be the truth. We have to believe in the fundamental goodness of life. And we have to embody the fundamental goodness of life. And by doing that, we can be the presence of peace that we're called to be. We can be peaceful in every situation and know that we know, and not just the intellectual knowing, but knowing in our spirit, our heart, knowing in consciousness that love will win out. And in the meantime, get clear on what you're called to do. I talked to some friends this week who had made decisions that they won't spend money in certain retailers anymore. They made decisions that they will once again commit to an extra hour a week of spiritual practice. That they'll reach out and pray with other people. Prayer, affirmative prayer, the unity prayer, that not praying to, that far off God out there, that when we believe in that far off God out there somewhere, we think that, maybe the God that's out there somewhere really isn't paying attention, and knowing some of the mean things I've said to people that I say I love. When we pray from the awareness that this divine spark resides in us, is us, then we're always clear that divine presence knows. Knows our thoughts, our words, and our actions. And so we bring our awareness to that within. And we ask ourselves that question, what is mine to do right now? What is the path of love now? What would love do now? What would love do now? There were a couple of times this week where when I was in the midst of breathing, if you can't do anything else, breathe, and the phone would ring, and I got, love would let that go to voicemail. Because I didn't know what was going to come out of the other end. I recognized the name, right? And so I was like, because my peace is my business, not somebody else's. Have you known anybody that has some chaos? Is chaos the opposite of peace? Maybe they had some chaos in their life and they want to spill it over into your cup. You know anybody like that? Drama. Mm-hmm. What would love do now? What would love do now? And knowing that there is only one power and one presence in the universe and active in your life, absolute good and unconditional love. So we know this, and so when we say, what would love do now? We're really asking, what would I do now? What would I do now? What is the highest and best of me? What would the highest and best of me do now? Friends, I got to tell you, I don't think the answer to that question comes out of the intellect. It's not going to be attached to a story that some beloved person in your life gave you at some point on what you should do or how you should behave or what you should wear or shouldn't wear. The answer to what would love do now is going to be answered in consciousness. but you're going to see it reflected back to you wherever you look and whenever you look, because it's all love. Thanks for letting me share today. I love you all.
Thank you always, Rev Todd, for your inspiration. This is one of my songs, and it's called I Am the Light in the Darkness. Everything is different, not what I expected. Like the walls of Babylon, they are crumbling, and the dust is everywhere, and I can't see. Darkness blinding me. I've got to find the light in the darkness. The light in the darkness. I've got to find the light in the darkness. The light in the darkness calling for me. So much is at stake here. Everybody's scared. Life is throwing curveballs and I can't dodge them. Left unconscious and in fear, and I can't see. Darkness blinding me. Help me find the light in the darkness. The light in the darkness. Oh, help me find the light in the darkness. The light in the darkness. It's calling me. A glow inside. Every situation I have lived keeps showing me I can learn and I can grow. Every lesson is fuel, I know, to show me that the only light I'll ever need is already inside of me. I am the light in the darkness. The light in the darkness. I am the light in the darkness. The light in the darkness. And I'm defining me. Light in the darkness. I am the light in the darkness. I am the light in the darkness. The light in the darkness. The divine in me.
Oh, Deidrey, that was beautiful. How long ago did you write that one?
This morning.
She's amazing. But just so y'all know, not only did she have to write that, she had to record it, and then she recorded 2 tracks of vocals and then sang with them. So, wow. Thank you.